Hello, gentle viewers. This is Vindian, welcoming you to a brand new season of Out of the Park Baseball 18. It's now 1948, and we have ourselves armed with a slightly improved lineup and a slightly improved rotation. First of all, let's actually change this. You can't change it to show the pitching staff. Well, that's actually good. I really need to spend a lot more time on this screen. I don't think I'm on here often enough. I actually am going to change this one because I generally don't care, so I can look at my top prospects. That's minor league system. I said top prospects. There we go. And obviously Willie Mays and Smith are at the very top. So, what do you like him so much for? I don't know. So, this season, we have a couple of new additions to the roster. Alvin Dark is making his major league debut at first base. He's not necessarily ready, but we don't have a better option right now. The only alternative would be to check the trade block and see if we can pick up something. The second thing that we've added is we've added a new pitcher, Willie Hubert, who we purchased his contract from the Negro Leagues last season. In the offseason, in fact. Thus giving us an improvement in pitching and hopefully an improvement in hitting as well. And we'll just have to see what happens now. Right. Here we go. Yeah, here you can see the rotation. So Swanson is our new ace. Feller down to number 4. Feller's been problematic the last few seasons, and we'll have to see what happens now. He's still striking people out. But the problem is he continues to walk people. And it's even gotten worse. For the last 3 seasons in a row, he's walked more people than he struck out, which is very problematic for a pitcher of his talents. Which is why I began discussing, very briefly last episode, the heresy of eventually making him a closer. But we're not there yet. I think for now, we just begin. We lost our season opener. Well, the key this season is going to be A, seeing if Doby can take a step forward, and B, seeing how the new rookies integrate themselves into our lineup. Anything interesting that applies to us? No. I know I've probably mentioned this before, but I hope with OOTP 19's UI changes, they start highlighting emails that directly apply to the player and to the team in question. Who the hell is Eddie Robinson? I have no idea. It's a good first baseman, though. And as always, we avoid rushes to judgment until we actually get 2 full months into the season. I remember that year. George Sisler was really good that year, but I think that was when he started to begin his decline, where he was so terrible at first base. They actually caused other problems. I said until May, you bastards. 5 days for Chapman. So one of the features I haven't used much in this playthrough is you can tell the team to manually... He's a backup left fielder, who cares? You can tell the team to manually bench a player. We do need a new left fielder. I'm sure I've got one. Here we go. Bob Van Eman. You're kind of terrible in the outfield, but you're really just here to be a backup anyway. I'll go ahead and make Damari the primary backup here. What the... I don't know why you're showing me pitching statistics. This needs to be fixed. And I don't know how easy that'll be to fix, but it does need to be fixed. And I'll make you a tertiary backup, Mr. Van Eman. Right. We're doing okay so far. We're not, like, brilliant, but we're doing okay. This is a very chaotic start to the season. But it's nice to see that we're at least jockeying for position. If you remember last season, we started off like we were one of the worst teams in the league. Ooh. How did you get freaking injured? I swear, someone freaking clobbered him. Let's see. If we check his history... No, it doesn't say it. Okay, 5/10/1948. It'll tell us when the actual game... It'll tell us, if we look at the game log, how we actually got injured. We want... Scores and schedule. It was May 10th. A loss. Injured on a defensive play. He's supposed to be pretty good at it. That does create a problem, though. How's he been doing, by the way? Well, he's hitting for a decent amount of power. His average isn't bad. He just isn't drawing many walks. Alright, we need to address this first base problem. And I don't really have anyone capable of playing first base yet. Willie Mays' potential has really been slacking off. That's not super great. Hopefully he doesn't end up being a washout in our league. Alright. Let's first start by checking the trade block. I'll be willing to part with something to get us a first baseman. Or I could just sign one. Let's check the trade block. It's always a good start to check a trading block. Bill Nicholson. Nicholson has decent power and decent discipline, but he doesn't play first base very well. And I need some level of actual competence at first base. What if we just search out people who could play first? Okay. Dick Sizzler's a really good contact hitter. How are you at actually playing? You're kind of a bad first baseman. Okay. Hello, Bob Evans. You might be exactly what we're looking for. Good discipline, good gap power, pretty good first baseman. What would I have to give up to get Evans? I don't have to give up a lot. Oh, wow. Looks like I won't have to. People love Logan. I kind of get he's going to be a pretty good hitter, but he's a terrible shortstop. Like, really bad. I would happily trade, I would happily trade Johnny Logan for this. Because we do need a first baseman, even as a temporary rental. You want a little bit more. Would you give me Walt Dropo? I'm pretty sure you wouldn't. I'd have to give you one of my best players, and I'm not prepared to sacrifice that just for some stupid jerk face. Russ Sullivan? Nope, same list. That's fine. Let's say like Tom Sturdivant. You'd actually think about this one. And he's another elite yeah. So for now, what'll happen is just that one guy will play first base for a couple of days. That would be an amazing deal. Okay. Alright. For a truly elite pitching prospect, I would actually cough up a little bit more. You want Archie Wilson, who doesn't hit super great. He's a pretty decent outfielder, but he's not brilliant. Is there another player I'd be even more willing to give up? No, I think I'd happily give you Wilson. And you want a little bit more. Sure, throw in Billy Klaus. And Don Cena. Sure. And then I need to get one more player. Here you go. This ended up being a much bigger deal than we thought it would be, but I'm totally fine with this. Let's see what you think. I don't know why they prize that shortstop so much, but... Alright, I know the GM thinks we should get a little bit more, but I'm totally cool with this. Alright, so step number 1. Okay, who did you... Okay, here we go. You put him at left field. No, move him to first, please. I think everyone else we got is like a minor leaguer, so there's no rush. Smith is developing nicely. I want to see that contact and that power get up here. I would like to compare you with Wilson. I love the compare feature. Wilson's a better base stealer, for which I know who cares. Defensively, Wilson is a much better shortstop. But offensively, Smith is better all around. We'll have to keep a close eye on these two. I think Smith's higher ceiling is because his defense is almost as good and his offense is clearly better. Because he hits for a lot more contact, he's got better gap potential, and so forth. Alright, so let's take a quick peek. So Evans is a right-handed hitter. And he does have a very slight platoon edge if we have him just face left-handed hitting. What about Sanders? Sanders is much better against righty, so we're actually going to platoon them for now. And the real advantage of this is that it means if we want to, we can send Dark back to the minors so he can get another full season in AAA. Alright, so Evans will start against right-handed hitters. We didn't put Damari back in here. Okay. I mean, I know we just got Smith, but it might be worth considering trading him. Or, frankly, Wilson, if we can get a player that we desperately need. Man, Vern Stevens is still killing it. Ooh, Doby's leading the AL, and oh wow, Doby is just like a monster this season. I bet that's probably a big part of the reason why we're doing so well the beginning part of this season. He's leading the league in batting average, Sauer second in homers. Doby is third in OPS. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and send you to AAA. for now. Now, Al McLean's 10-5 rights are about to kick in. How's he doing this season? Not awesome. Not bad, but not awesome. We've gotten a very good career out of him. I might just let him go. Okay. Please to the end of the month. And then we'll take a quick moment to take stock of our situation, see what's going well and what's not going well. Aw, stupid Archivon. Jerk. Three strikes is harder to get than two strikes. Thanks, Tim McCarver. Asshole. If you haven't watched a lot of baseball in the past, Tim McCarver was this really obnoxious... he was a catcher, and he played most of his career for the St. Louis Cardinals, but he was one of the most absolutely obnoxious announcers in baseball history. I never saw... Swanson was number one pitcher. I had never seen a single announcer that much in favor of, like, the Yankees than anyone else. He always said really stupid things that he tried to pass off as this amazing wisdom that could only be gathered by playing Major League Baseball. Things like, you know, if you score more runs than the other team, you've got a good chance to win. Stupid stuff like that. He's not as bad as Joe Morgan, where Joe Morgan insisted that unless your leadoff guy could steal a base, he'd never be a good leadoff hitter, and that walks were much worse than hits, and that Frank Thomas was a bad player that always clogged up the base pass. Joe Morgan's a very strange guy. He has very strong opinions, many of them wrong, about how baseball works in the modern day. Team statistics. We're number one in offense. Very nice. Our bullpen is crap, and that's something I could probably fix somewhat easily. But let's actually look at the players. I bet Doby is insane this season. Yeah, he is. Let's take a moment to appreciate this. An almost 400 batting average. An incredible on-base percentage. Slugging percentage isn't as good as it could be. His latent home run power isn't really manifesting yet, but maybe he's just a little bit cold this season. I would take a season like this every single day. And he's slightly above average at second base. Boudreaux is good, Mierkowicz is good, Sauer is good, Sanders is good, Sears is good, Wilson is good, Chapman is good. All 9 of our regulars are providing top-notch offense. Even Sanders is doing okay, although admittedly in relatively limited time. By WOBA, I bet Doby's the number one hitter. No, actually Sanders is, well, in limited time. So it's Doby, then Boudreaux, then Mierkowicz, then Sauer, then Sears. I really got to give Sears a lot more credit. He's really transformed himself. Now, a lot of this is pure luck. Because his power is his major asset. We're just going to hope he gets lucky and runs a lot of bases. We still need a good, reliable catcher. That need hasn't really changed. But I'm pretty cool the fact it's happening for now. Doing a great job of getting on base and hitting for average. Very nice. Pitching. Hubert looks really good. Hubert is definitely handling himself well in the majors. Swanson is good, Reed is good, Feller is good. Feller's on pace to have a nice little bounce back season. Alright, so the biggest problem is Harold Sharp. Ooh, the problem is McLean. Because Sharp doesn't have that many innings, right? McLean is the problem. Let me show you why. A reliever that can't even get a single strikeout per 9 innings. His control is slipping. This is not remotely acceptable in a reliever. He's got 10-5 rights now, I think. I'm actually going to cut him. Unless he's, like, mega popular. I'm going to release him. As much as I liked Al McLean, he was holding our team back. Now, the real question is... Erskine is 21. No, I want him to get a full taste of AAA. Hamilton Graham. He's 22. He's a really hard thrower. They just keep making him start. I might actually call him up. Okay, pitching-wise, which pitcher is the most ready? George Hughes. Sure. He's 21. He's had a fairly decent career. I mean, Al Smith is going to force a very difficult decision for us in the seasons to come. Yeah, let's go ahead and call up George Hughes. And I'm going to go ahead and make you a middle reliever. If I change you to a relief pitcher, do you get a lot more stuff? Oh, yes, you do. You become actually an asset as a reliever right now. The new closer is going to be McCaskey. Well, he's doing a good job with the walks this season. And he's already got 3 saves, so I think we are going to go and make him a stopper. And I'm going to go ahead and make you high leverage as well. You're only 21, but you have so much potential as a reliever. I'm going to throw you in the deep end and see how you turn out. Okay. I feel a lot better about our bullpen now. Okay. The bullpen is one of the easiest things to fix in Major League Baseball. And yet, if you watch like the hot stove season, the off season, teams pay stupid amounts of money for relievers. And it's almost never justified. Because relievers are extremely fungible in that a reliever that's good this year might be horrible next year. And it's almost impossible to predict which is likely to be accurate. Bob Flowers have an amazing year in ERA. So it always seems so strange to me when like I'd be like watching SportsCenter Baseball Tonight, and they'd be like, the New York Yankees signed middle reliever for $8 million a year. It's like, really? The great relievers are worth it. But unless you're absolutely convinced he's a top-tier reliever, I just don't see the sense sending a boatload of money. We're doing awesome this season. This has been a really good season. Now, granted, it is only the first half, and bad things can happen at any time. We have actual depth. Integration has been very good for us. Ooh, 2,000 hits for Lou Boudreau. Nice work. Demery goes 5 for 5. Sauer and Bauer. Nice. Scullin gets a shutout. I didn't expect that. Oh, he's playing for the Senators now. Okay. Anything else interesting here? Not really. What do you want? What are you offering me, St. Louis? You're going to give me a marginal right fielder for a marginal starting pitcher. Ole actually could be a decent reliever, though. I'm just going to reject this outright. And actually, I'm going to try and do a reliever now. Yeah, that's what they wanted. His stamina was never going to be good enough to make him a starter anyway. We'll see how he does. One screen I haven't used much in OOTP 18 that I'd like to see them improve a little bit for 19 is the ask for team needs. Because it'll say, we have this guy, and then it'll be like, what do you want for him? And we'll be like, we want most of your team. Holy crap, we spanked the shit out of the White Sox in that game. 14-0. Damn. This is crazy. I did not expect we'd go from a mediocre team to one of the best in the league. Hiram Bythorn. The baseball stadium in Puerto Rico is named after him. Another trade proposal. It was another stupid trade proposal. Why does everyone think I'm going to give away Oli for nothing? No, especially not a center fielder. Reject. Rejected. It must be the shoes. NBA Jam was so good. I played some of the recent remakes, and it just doesn't seem that... It doesn't seem to be quite the same to me. But, you know. Arthur Wilson. A pretty decent second baseman who will never hit. Why does everyone want him? This is... I told you you're a relief pitcher, but whatever. This is so weird. I will never understand why the AI all of a sudden falls in love with certain players. Was he ranked like a top prospect? No. Why 17th rounder? I don't know. But I'm not giving you a good player for garbage. Someone is upset that they're not starting. Oh no, mid-season review. He's very excited. He likes the attendance. We're going to need some work on the farm system. Let's look at the rosters. Hubert? No Swanson? Okay. Sears, Doby, Boudreau, Sauer, and Mirkowitz. Very nice. A lot of all-stars this year. Damn, Boudreau's almost got 5 WAR. He actually has 5 WAR. He's going to be with Archie Vaughn. Wonder what's happened to Swanson. He was dominating. He's still good. Wonder why Hubert made the All-Star team and not what's-his-face. I don't know. There was that crazy ERA. That's pretty impressive. This might be Feller's ceiling from here on out, which is fine. He keeps accumulating stats. And at this point, he's already done so much. I'm going to fix this. I don't want what their defensive rating is on this screen. We'll just save his switching stats. Why aren't you letting me save the view? Whatever. Oh, it must not have been the original view. Got it. Got it. Okay. Is McCaskey's control improving? It did in June, so it still might continue to improve. But yeah, it's been good. And at this point, Feller has done so much for our team. He basically carried us to 2 World Series. That I am totally fine with him just accumulating stats as long as he continues to be productive. And it looks like he will be. 6 days, don't care. I know what I need to fix. This will make the sim go a little bit faster, and it'll stop us from wasting our time. Oh, we don't get to know about the actual All-Star game? Oh, it's today. Okay. Manager's office, autoplay. Yeah, unless a player's out for at least a week, I don't care. Or if it's a severe performance drop. Minor league promotions and demotions. Yes, that looks perfect. You're wondering why I don't let the AI do minor league free agent signings and releases? They might have fixed this, but for a while the AI was really bad at managing the minor league teams, and they would take like your best prospects and just cut them. And I don't know that I trust the AI to do that correctly yet. So, all right, front office. So, do we have any upcoming free agents? No. Well, it's the reserve clause. Damn, Lou Boudreau making most money on the team. That's perfectly reasonable. I'm not going to begrudge him that. I'm just shocked by how little money Bob Feller makes. He got bad at the wrong time. I mean, the man's playing out of his damn mind this season. All right. So, in real life, Lou Boudreau also went to the Hall of Fame. But it was mostly because of his play as a manager. Because he only had 1,800 hits. Which was not bad. But he mostly went into the Hall of Fame because he was a great manager. And because he, in his like, second or third season, he led the Indians to a World Series title, managing and hitting at the same time. Our version of Lou Boudreau is just a better player. Just crazy good. Just crazy good. Alright, let's continue. And I wonder if it's the fact that the real-life Lou Boudreau played in shortstop, whereas we have him playing third. Ed Mirkowitz was game MVP. Nope. I'm not saying I'm averse to trading Edwin Oli. It's just they're offering me bad players for him. It's like, really? Alright, one more person freaking asks for Oli. I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to make him untouchable now. I'm tired of getting these stupid offers. I don't actually want Oli that badly, but you're just not making anything remotely worthwhile. And yes, I know I could take a few moments and actually make a better trade. I just can't be bothered right now. $22-5. Okay, I'm actually going to send you back to the minors because I want you to achieve this level of contact that I think you can. You might not be happy about it, but I think you'll be better off in AAA. Okay, I got to take a look at that game that just happened. 6 hits for Mirkowitz. Boston and Boston agree to trade. All right, I have to look at that game. That looks so obscene. It looks like it would be fantastic. Front office, no. I'm sorry. Scores and schedule. There you go. 22-5. We could totally watch the highlights. Man, Ken Sears, 7 RBI. He had a 3-run homer. Very nice. Why can't I watch the bloody highlights? I might actually have turned that off to save on recording time. It might not be possible to watch the highlights. Let's see. If we go back a couple days. Oh no, it is actually saving highlights. 22-5. Let's watch them. A single was really a highlight? Okay. This is Boudreau. He gone. Oh, nope, it's an out. But it did score a run. Let's see, this is Boston. Oh, Boston's got Minnie Minoso too? What happened to Ted Williams? Or Ted Williams got hurt this year. There goes Ray Sanders. He didn't do double play. That wasn't very exciting. I think we have very different ideas of what constitutes a highlight. That was a run. That was 2 runs scored. Good work for Adobe. Okay, really, that was just a base hit. It didn't even score anybody. Come on, Reed. Oh, that was a bunt. And it was almost a hit. Here's Del Ennis. And this is where they scored 2 runs. This is like boring. I don't know why they think this is exciting. This must have been an intentional walk. No, it wasn't intentional. Alright, Christopher, you now face Ray Sanders. What you got? Ooh, that one was hit hard. Not hard enough, though. It does score a run. Here comes Hank Sauer. Oh, that one's gone. That ain't even close. That's a highlight. Here comes Sears with a little flare shot. Oh, still pretty good. A 2-run scoring double. Sanders again. That's a nice little hit. Into the corner, another double. 15-5. Let's see Sears crank this one. Oh, that's good. Bam. Sears again. Just a seeing eye single that scored another run. 2 more. That was good. I still think some of those weren't really highlights, but sure. That was fun. That was good. Browns 14. We've just got this crazy good lineup because Lou Boudreau all of a sudden is like, I'm tired of being ignored. I'm gonna murder every baseball that comes within 500 miles of me. We have a choice. Harold Sharp is clearly our worst pitcher. I'ma cut him. And then Carl Sheeb can have his job back. McCaskey's control still needs improvement, but he's so far holding his own as a closer. You know, closers weren't really a thing in the 1940s. It was typically expected that your starter would go all the way most of the time. It's amazing how picking the right players at the right time can mean everything. I bet Ted Williams is hurt. I think that's a big part of the reason why we're still in such good position. White Sox are really good this year. Oh, pardon me. How is Hubert not being considered Rookie of the Month? No, Hubert did hit 306. Did hit almost 400, so I guess that's reasonable. Stupid Wes or Mel Parnell. I don't know why I said Mel. I'm just going to take a quick peek and see what happened to Ted Williams. Yeah, he broke his elbow. Oh well, Boston's loss is my gain. Boston is so ridiculously stacked. And I can't even blame the creators of the game because the actual creators of Out of the Park Baseball are German. I don't know what teams they favor, if any. There was a really good interview, I forget which publication did it for, that Marcus Heinsohn, the lead developer of Out of the Park, gave about how he learned about baseball in Germany. I thought it was really cool. Man, between us and the Reds, we are just tearing through the majors this season. Uh-oh. We're on a bit of a losing streak. There we go. Okay, so it's what date? It just started the beginning of August. Why isn't it? Oh, it's not listing the right date up here. It listed over here, though. We're about to hit the beginning of September. Then. We're getting a lot of protection from our first base platoon, too. Almost to the point where I don't feel the need to rush Dark anymore. If Dark is the one where you can start hitting 300 consistently, I will happily call him up and make him the everyday first baseman. But that might be a while. We probably have the uh-oh. 4 weeks for Dobie. Guess what, Al Dark? You're coming back up. Quickly change you back to a second baseman, and then call you up. That was really bad timing. Okay, why won't you let me get rid of the stupid pitching, the fielding rating? There we go. Okay. Well, let me save the view. Very weird. Okay. And we'll just plug in Dark. This was not what I wanted to happen, but I've got a fair amount of confidence that he can turn things around. He actually wasn't having a great time in the minors, so we'll see what happens. And obviously this is just temporary. Dark is not starting over Dobie in the playoffs. Assuming we get there, which seems pretty likely. We got a 15-game lead, and it's just about to be September. It would take a historic meltdown for us to be bounced out. And I don't put it past us, by the way. There's got to be some sort of unfair bias towards hitters and Rookie of the Year. Because there's no way on earth Hudlin shouldn't be Rookie of the Year. Like, there's just no way. Alright, let's go to the end of the regular season. We'll probably get stopped when Dobie's healthy. Losing Chapman hurts too. But not as much as you might think. Chapman's actually been subpar this year. He plays really good defense, but that's about it. Do we have an outfielder to call up? Calvin Felix, sure. Al Smith's already a fairly decent hitter. Oh, the problem is he's an infielder. And I'm not trading Boudreaux. I'm not trading Dobie. We'll see what happens. Okay, lineups. You can start, and Van Eman can be number 1 backup. Felix can back up here. Okay, and then please copy both of these so I don't have to do this twice, and then paste them in there. Okay, there we go. Really good year for Wilson, too. Is Sauer going to break 40 homers this season? He probably won't, but he should hit more than 30. Okay, I don't know if you caught this from last season. His contact's actually dipping a little bit. Last season, his contact was 50. When did it drop? Here it goes. Yeah. He's starting to age a little bit, which is actually good. Wait, why does it say you're a left fielder? You are most certainly still a center fielder. That must be why everyone thinks... Okay. Yeah, that must be why everyone thinks that we need a new center fielder. Because it somehow shifted him from left, even though he's played center field the entire season. He's really good at it, too. So I think this is what might happen in a season or two. When Mays is ready, we ship Sauer over to left. Because Damari's already 38. He's probably going to retire at some stage here. And then Mays takes over center, and we just ship Sauer over to left. Also could put Sauer in at first base, too. I've got options. We're almost at the point where we have so much talent, it's time to start thinking about maybe even trading prospects. Which sounds like heresy. It feels like heresy. Who's retiring? Don't care. Not my most important player. Oh, I know what I wanted to check out. I also want to check out my coaches and see if anyone is getting ready to... Slaughter, 2,500 hits. Very nice. Roster... No, front office personnel. Everyone's contract runs out in 49. But... So, are there any of my current pitchers you're really great at? Not really. We have a stupid number of minor league teams. I can't wait till some of them start to get consolidated. Even though no, the Yankees aren't a juggernaut in ours, it still does my heart proud to see them get eliminated from the playoffs. I said till the end of regular season. I almost said till the end of the week by accident. Regular season ends. There we go. I don't know what to do with Al Smith, though. Trading Smith, if we can get something we desperately need... Oh, the other George Wilson retired. Well, if we could get something we really need, I might trade Al Smith or George Wilson. But we can't trade someone too early. We've got so much talent now that I don't want to take any foolish chances. Like, I don't want to trade Al Smith and then Lou Boudreaux's leg falls off the next season or whatever. Okay, Hudler is slipping in WAR, but still pretty good, I think. Clyde Reed, 21 wins. Very nice. Hubert. I was going to call him Willis. It's Willie. I don't know why I call him Willis. Swanson is actually a borderline Cy Young candidate. Stupid Eno Slaughter hitting 372. Oh, there goes Sauer breaking 30 homers again. So you figure if he plays for 20 years, it's 30 home runs every year, he'd hit 600. I've already clinched the playoffs. Very nice. Yeah, it's going to be Browns versus Reds. I don't know if I like our chances. We'll have to see. Hopefully that's it. It gives you an idea of how hard it used to be to hit 600 homers. And it's still quite difficult. Oh no, how long are you out? 4 days. Not Alan Dudig. No. I think it's hilarious to have Hank Bauer and Hank Sauer. We get Larry Doby back. How is Dark done? He's actually played quite well. I mean, this is Doby's team. Doby and Dark will be your new backup for now. So I think this episode we won't actually cover the off season. I think we'll save that for the next episode because so much has happened in this season. When we get OOTP 19, actually that would be the perfect opening to OOTP 19. Would be to just show you guys one game because they're supposed to be making huge changes to the 3D engine to make it look more realistic. That might be a great opening. Just to show that off for you once we've created our team. I'll definitely keep that in mind. Putting lights in room feels like putting aluminum siding on the Sistine Chapel. I don't think I'd go that far. I'm about to say any confidential. Oh, Dizzy Dean. One of my favorite Dizzy Dean quotes is, he got a concussion in a game. He said, the doctors examined my head and found nothing. That was great. Ooh, 300 saves for Jim Turner. That's got to be a Major League record. And it can't be, like, remotely close, can it? I wonder. Leaderboards. Because I was one of the first teams to actually use a dedicated closer. Pitching. Saves, yep. First guy to hit 300 saves. Next guy behind him is 100 saves behind. He might have a tiny chance at making the Hall of Fame when he retires. It won't be a great chance, but it's a possibility. Let's him to the beginning of the playoffs. I wonder if it's regular season. It's supposed to have been a makeup day. The game got rained out or something. Oh yeah, home run champion. Very nice. Right, we're going to do our playoff coverage from this screen. To begin with, there is no way on earth. Yeah, I'm going to trust Swanson, then Hubert. Maybe Feller. Reed rarely walks people. Feller still led the league in strikeouts per 9. Even at 5.8. Okay. Alright, let's first actually sim up to the actual beginning. Wish the sim times are a little bit faster. It's because there's so many minor leagues, and as that dies off, that'll help. Okay. No, we are not starting with Reed, my friend. We are definitely starting with Swanson, unless Swanson isn't rested enough. And he totally is. I don't know why the AI does that. That seems very strange to me. That you would deliberately take the pitcher who's not your best and make him start. Alright, so let's simulate the first game. Come on. We didn't... Oh, that's right. There's no interleague play. So American League never plays National League. National League never plays the American League. The Reds won that one. And Swanson got his brain hammered. That's not super great. But tomorrow's another day. Come on, Hosler, make us proud. Or Reed. Reed? Why do you keep going back to Reed? What is it about Clyde freaking Reed that says, I don't care because we won the game, but it's really weird. How close? Okay, Reed pitched a complete game. Maybe they know something about him I don't. Alright. We'll sim a game ahead. There's Hubert. Alright, get her done, mate. Let's show this Dick Fowler chap what for. You did not. You got destroyed. The Reds weren't nearly as good a lineup as us, yet it's the Reds that have been dominating offensively. This is very troubling. I mean, yeah, the Reds have Joe DiMaggio. It's the Seavers kid. He's been lighting it up. Damn it. Okay, so we're down 2-1. Feller, do you have a little bit of the old magic left? You don't. Maybe. Oh, Feller got hurt. That's a shame. He was actually pitching a pretty good game. Then Turner came in and he just exploded. Damn, Turner. Damn. I don't think the World Series is in the cards. Every time we get close to winning a game, we just get blown apart by their lineup. Like, what the shit, mate? Swanson. I need one of my pitchers to deliver besides freaking Clyde Reed. Okay. There we go. A complete game. 6 hits. No strikeouts, but no walks. Alright. That's something to build on. So Clyde Reed was actually really good in Game 2. But this is an elimination game. Let's actually take a look at both players and how they did this season. Hubert was a lot better. But Reed rarely walks people. And that might be more useful in the playoffs. I know you're supposed to dance with what brung you. Oh, these are the kind of decisions you fuss over as a major league manager. Reed, I'll close my eyes. I don't know if I want to see what happens. I think we lost. We did lose. Stupid Reds. But how did Reed pitch? Reed got destroyed. Damn. These were just slugfests. There was one pitcher's duel the entire time, and that's the one that I won. What did D. Fondy do that was so great? He had 1 home run. I would have said Carl Furillo maybe, but Boudreaux was great. Doby struggled a lot. Mirkowitz struggled. Sauer vanished. A very sour end to the end of the season. We were just bested. The Reds just destroyed us in all facets of the game. So we'll conclude the episode by looking over the team, see what worked well and what didn't, and maybe try to think about how likely it is to see this happen again. Fan loyalty increased. Browns player Jim Turner retired. I need a new team trainer. Just so I don't forget like I did last time, we're going to grab our team trainer now. Okay, arms. Alcantar's pretty amazing at everything except for back injuries. I see he's very much a healing guy and much less a prevention guy. But I still think he's pretty damn solid. Because we need to make sure our arms are in good shape. Otherwise, I'd actually take Almquist. But no, we'll take Alcantar. That's at least who we'll offer to. Right. So it was a very good year for the Browns. Let's see what worked and what didn't. Lou Boudreau was out of this world this season, hitting .352. By far the best he's ever hit in the majors. .424 on base. Really good slugging percentage. Outstanding season with Boudreau. And he played amazing third base. Hank Sauer put together another very good year despite suffering. Led the league in homers and RBI. If he'd hit for a little more average, he could have won a Triple Crown. But we also have to realize he's on his decline phase. So this is going to be something we keep in the back of our minds. He won't be around forever. So in real life, he only ever got 1,200 hits. Notice he already has 1,500 and 241 homers. And he still played pretty good center field this year. Doby took a huge step forward, Bill doing everything he did last season, just doing it better. I'm still concerned by the fact he doesn't hit a lot of doubles. But he also hits a good number of home runs, and he just hits really well. He's a little below average as a second baseman. That's vaguely troubling, but only vaguely. George Wilson put together one of his very best seasons, mostly because he hit 24 homers. That's literally the only major difference between this season and last season. Shortstops that hit 24 homers don't grow on trees, especially when they also play slightly below average shortstop. Well, Mirkowitz also had a good year. Sears put in another good year as catcher. We're really on borrowed time with him. Because we should not look at this record and expect a guy to hit 300. But he's a pretty good catcher, too. So, Sanders is one of the biggest surprises, actually. I had no idea that he had this in him. He drew a lot of walks, hit a lot of doubles. Despite limited playing time, Dark was actually quite good this season. And it's just a question of us deciding where we want to put him. Now, as I said before, in real life, the Indians moved Larry Doby out to the outfield. I want to give him one more full year at second base. We might consider a position move from him. For him. Let's look at pitching. Hubert, Swanson, and Reed were all about as good as the other one. There's not a lot to really suggest one over the others. Hubert was the best pure pitcher, but pitched the fewest innings, besides Feller. Feller's still putting together a fairly decent back end of the career. He's still not even 30 yet. We could probably guarantee him being with the Browns for another 5 or 10 years, maybe. Won 2 Cy Young Awards. But I do worry about him eventually. McCaskey was just above replacement level, but this was a learning year. And his control is getting ever better. Here we go. We'll have to find a replacement for Turner. McCaskey wasn't great, but the man did throw almost 100 innings. Led the league in games pitched. And wasn't actually that bad. Once he gets his walks under control and his strikeouts tick up a bit, he's going to be super crazy good. But he's not there yet. Okay, so I think that'll conclude this episode. We made the World Series. We didn't win. But the thing is, none of the players, with the possible exception of Ken Sears, that had amazing seasons don't look... Mirkowitz is maybe the most overstated player on this team. Because looking at his contact, he shouldn't be hitting 300 so regularly. And I think his upside is probably closer to what we saw in 1946, not 1948. But we'll just have to see. But the good news is that a lot of this core is actually quite young. If we sort by our best players, I don't have age on here. I should always have age on there. Age. So Boudreaux is getting up there. But Doby is really young. Wilson is young. Mirkowitz is young. Boudreaux, Sanders, and Sears are the older ones. But of those three, the only one I foresee making a pretty dramatic decline would probably be Sanders. Oh, how did Evans do? I protected him as much as possible, and he still didn't do that great. He draws a lot of walks, though, and that's always a good thing to have in a bat off the bench. What we might do, since Dark is a right-handed hitter, I might platoon him with Sanders next season. Okay. All right, but that'll be it for this episode. I hope you've enjoyed. If you have, please remember to like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what you think of how this season went. I thought it went pretty amazingly. Let's see if we can make it better next season. But until then, this has been Avindian, and I bid you good day.